Hello friends, welcome to this YouTube video program. We are discussing about the use of experimental method for conducting educational research. In our earlier program, we have discussed about some of the experimental design. We have already discussed your pre-experimental design and true experimental design. And in today's program, we will discuss about the quasi-experimental design, how to use the quasi-experimental design for conducting educational research by using the experimental method. So friends, before discussing about the concept of quasi-experimental design, let us try to connect it with the true experimental design. As already you have understood about the concept of true experimental design, so you can say that true experimental design brings control in terms of randomization and matching, history and maturation, measuring instruments, testing, etc. Here you see in true experimental design, mostly two things are given importance. First is the randomization and second is matching. Means when we select a group, we do proper randomization. Okay, so what you do by using the random method, random sampling method, we select the group, we form the group. Okay, as I have already told you in my earlier program, let you are taking 100 subjects from a particular standard or particular age from particular class. So what you are doing after taking 100 subject randomly, again you are making two groups. Okay, one will be the experimental group and other will be the control group. But how you will form this experimental and control group? Again you have to do a type of randomization. Okay, so 100 subjects already you have chosen randomly, then again what you will do, randomly 50 you have to keep one side, that may be your control or experimental group, and another number of 50 randomly you have to keep other side, so that will be either your control group or experimental group. Then I have also told you that you can do a better matching also. Taking two subjects, you have to see by taking a pre-test, by observing their achievement score or intelligence. You can also carefully distribute the subjects having equal quality or equal ability. Okay, so we can match the subjects taking two at a time. So that's called as a carefully matching of the pairs. So when the pairs are equivalent, then among the pair, what you can do, one you can keep to the control group and other you can keep in the experimental group. So these are the two major things that we do in true experimental design for forming the groups. But many a time it is not possible to do the randomization, to do the proper matching. So let us see when we talk about the classroom. Okay, let in a particular class, let 5 or 6 sections are there. In class 8, let section A, B, C, D, E, F, 6 sections are there. So many a time when you are doing experimental research, so for forming the groups, what you are doing in true experimental design, so you are randomizing the subjects and you are also matching the subjects. So when you are doing the randomization and matching, you see the subjects are here, the students are getting cautious, so they are getting certain idea that let a particular student got selected for the experimental group, for the control group. Okay, so a type of you can say inferiority complex or superiority feeling that develops among the mind of the subjects or the students. So they got an idea that yes, I am in the experimental group, I am in the control group, or such type of things happens. So for avoiding such type of things, particularly when you are conducting a experimental study, taking your students, okay, taking the students from different sections of a particular class in a school, let you are a teacher there and you want to do the experiment. So what you can do, without doing a proper randomization, without doing any type of matching, you can take this section as toto. Okay, let you have to form two groups. So what you can do, two groups from 8th standard students, 6 sections are there. You can take any section in control group and any other section in experimental group without doing a randomization. Okay, so such type of things you can do, and that's called as a quasi experimental design. That is not a true experimental design, as here you are providing certain liberty. You are providing certain liberty for forming the groups. So let us, friends, try to understand that what are the specific experimental design that we can use for conducting the quasi experimental research. And let me to again say that such type of study can only be conducted, you can say, in a same class taking different sections, because you have to take the entire students, the pre-assembled students, you can say, means those are already studying in a section. You have to take the entire section students. So here there is no need of keeping a few students from a section, keeping another few students from another section and forming a group. So as a toto you have to take the entire section students. So if you are taking two groups, means here you have to take entire two sections from the same class, from the same school. So accordingly you can conduct a research, form a group and conduct the experimental design. So friends, we can use two specific experimental design in quasi experimental design method. First is the non-randomized control group pretest post-test design, and the second is counterbalanced design. Try to remember, I repeat. First design under quasi experimental design is non-randomized control group pre-test post-test design, and the second is counterbalanced design. So we can use these two popular design under the quasi experimental design. So let us now first discuss about the concept of non-randomized control group pre-test post-test design, and how can as a experimenter, as a researcher, how can you implement or plan the non-randomized control group pre-test post-test design for conducting your experimental research. So friends, here you see in non-randomized control group pre-test post-test design, group will be here too, as this has mentioned. Non-randomized control group means you have to take two groups. One will be the you can say both the groups are the control group, because we are not going to do any type of randomization here. But what you can do, you can name one group as the experimental group and other group as the control group, because here you are using the two groups, and you have to implement two independent variable, means two methods here. You have to teach one group by using one method, and you have to teach other group by using another method. And how I have already discussed that the selection of the formation of the groups, how you will form the group. You see, the students of entire sections of class from a school you have to take. I have already told you that if you are taking the 8th standard students, there are 6 sections are there. So what you will be doing? You have to take any two sections, and the number of students, all the students studying in that sections, you have to take the total students as a group. Okay, but here the most important thing is, when you are taking the sections, at least you should know the ability of the section. Okay, the performance of the sections. You can do it by doing any type of a pre-test or a type of you can say to know their performance and to know the means of the two groups and the standard deviation of the two groups. So your effort will be to take two equivalent groups. So many a time it is also not possible to get two equivalent groups, because when you will implement or take a pre-test, and when you will calculate the score as well as the mean score, you will find that there may be certain difference. Even if in standard deviation, the variations or the standard deviation of the scores from the mean score from the individual scores, you will find that the variation is also different. Okay, in a group you are getting getting standard variation is 7.5, another group you may get it 9.5, but your efforts should take at least two groups which are near to close, means which are very much close. I have already told you that in class 8 6 sections are there. So what you can do, you can take the pre-test of the 6 sections. So after taking the pre-test, you have to calculate the mean and standard deviation of each group. Then you compare the mean and standard deviation of each group. So which two groups mean and standard deviation you will find that they are closer, then you can take those two groups. So that will be your two groups, two control groups. Then after forming the groups, your next work is to implement your design. Means already you have decided that what treatment you will give to which group. So you have already two groups. So what you will do, like earlier discussion in our earlier program, we have discussed about that. Let you want to implement or to know the effect of MOOCs, okay, massive open online courses. So what you will do, you have to select a topic, and on that topic you have to prepare a MOOC course, maybe for 2 weeks MOOCs course or 4 weeks MOOCs course. And to other group of students, so what you will do, you have to teach them by proper planning, but the method that we will be using, the method will be the traditional method, the conventional method. Okay, so you have formed two groups. To one group you have to teach by using the MOOCs, and to other group you have to teach by using the conventional method. So everything, curriculum, number of sessions, or time duration, everything will be same. Then what you will do, before implementing or before doing the experimentation, before implementing the two methods, you have taken two methods here. First you have to take the pre-test, okay, then you have to implement, you have to do your experiment. Then after completion of your experiment, then again what you will be doing, you have to take the post-test, okay. So you have to prepare again two tests basing upon the treatment that you have given, the content area that you have covered by teaching the students by using the MOOCs or the conventional method to two groups. So then for decision and result, what you will do, already you have the pre-test score. So then after taking the post-test upon both the groups, you will get two sets of scores. Then you have to compare those two sets of scores. And if you will find that there is a significant difference exists between the two means, and let the groups to whom you have given the new treatment, or you have taught them by using the MOOCs, if their mean is significantly better than the conventional students or subjects mean, then you can say that there is a positive effect of MOOC course on the achievement or the performance of the students. So in this way you can do this. So here you are not doing any type of randomization, any type of matching, but for forming the group, definitely you are taking a pre-test, and on the basis of the pre-test you are matching it, you are making equivalence of the groups so far as their mean score and standard deviation is concerned. But here the threat is you are not doing any randomization, you are not doing matching of pairing matching, you are not doing, okay. So that's why it is very difficult to know the real effect, okay. So though you are forming two equivalent groups, but that two equivalent group maybe differ in many other ways also, okay. So that's why without doing the randomization and proper matching that we usually do in the true experimental design, so here what effect you are getting, that may not be a true effect. But we conduct this study in our, because every research is having certain you can say error, certain subjectivity, but we practice, we do such type of experimental research in education. And especially in the school situation, if you are taking different sections in a school, so such type of study or such type of design can be used. Then next, friends, let us discuss the another you can say advanced design under the quasi experimental design, that is counterbalanced design. So try to understand what is the counterbalanced design. So here you have to, as a researcher, you have to form two groups, okay. Both group will be given rotation wise treatment. So what you will do, you have formed two groups, you can say two control groups. Okay, so what you will do, the treatment that you will give, the both the groups will be, in a rotation wise treatment we will give. Okay, both the groups will get both types of treatment. So try to understand what you can do. Let us first focus on how to form the groups. So students of entire section of class from a school, as we have discussed the earlier design, here also such design or such research we can do in a school context, taking entire students from different sections. Okay, and here also by taking a type of pretest, you can also make two equivalent groups by using or by comparing their mean scores and the standard deviation. Then what you will do, you have to select two methods. Okay, so instead of two methods, as we are discussing in our earlier program, let here two methods are, we are teaching to first group of subjects by using the MOOCs and second group of subjects by using the conventional method. Okay, so again what you will do in this method, in counterbalance method, you have to develop certain material. Okay, let you have selected two units, unit 1 and unit 2. Okay, two units, so you have to develop certain material here, and that two units will be equivalent. Okay, the nature of the content and the length of the content, and you can say the content coverage of both the units will be same. Okay, so quality, length, difficulty standard, everything will be same in two units or two chapters. So what you will do, first you will take the unit 1, first unit. Okay, so you have already two groups. So to unit 1, first you have to teach a group of subjects by using the MOOCs. And to unit 1, so what you will do, you have to teach unit 1 to other group of students by using the conventional method. Okay, then let it continue for 15 days. You have to complete unit 1. Then after completion of unit 1, you have to take the test. Okay, so you have to take the post test of unit 1 of first group and second group. Okay, means the group to whom you have taught by using the MOOCs, and the second group to whom you have taught by using the conventional method. So here you are getting two means. Okay, then what you will do, after completion of treatment of first unit, then you have to select the second unit. Okay, already you have developed two equivalent units. Okay, so in second units, what you will do, you see earlier what you have done, you have implemented the MOOCs to first group. You have taught by using MOOCs to first group. So here you have to change the group. Okay, means the control group will be here experimental group, and experimental group will be control group. Means here in rotation wise you are giving, because you have not done any type of randomization, you have not done any type of matching. So that's why carefully what you are doing, you are rotating the group so that all the subjects or all the units of the groups will get equal type of treatment. Okay, so they are the control group and they are the experimental group. You are teaching unit 1 to those students, then also you are teaching unit 2 to those students, so both the groups. Okay, so you see they are getting a chance to get experienced by teaching through MOOCs, and get experienced by teaching through conventional methods. So here the difference that you are discussing, such difference you will not get, because group wise difference you will not get, because what you are doing, we are just rotating it. Okay, so all are getting exposed to both types of content at the same type of both types of methods. So after doing the second unit experimentation, then again you have to take post test. You have to find out their score, their achievement score, their performance, and then accordingly you have to calculate the mean score. Then after getting the mean score, your next work is post test combined mean scores of MOOCs and conventional method you have to calculate. So you see you have one group to whom you have given the treatment of MOOCs. So here MOOCs treatment has been given in our first experiment to group 1, and MOOCs treatment has been given in your second experiment to group 2. So you have to take a combined mean score of the MOOCs group or the method 1 group, you can say, and you have to take a combined mean score, combined post test mean scores of the conventional method or method 2 groups. Okay, so ultimately when you are analyzing it, you will find that all units of the groups are come together. So you have to find out the significance difference between the two combined means here. Okay, so if the combined means of the method 1 is better than method 2, then you can say that there is a positive effect of MOOC scores upon the achievement of the students. Okay, so here exclusively you are not considering one group as the control group and other group as the experimental group. So you are providing the scope to give both type of treatments to both types of groups. Then the threat is here, making two equivalent learning material is a very difficult task. As I have already told you that you have to develop two units, unit 1 and unit 2. So developing two equivalent unit is very difficult. Two equivalent means in difficulty standard, length, everything, content area, everything will be same. It is difficult. Then again you are also not doing any type of randomization or any type of matching. So that is also one of the threat or one of the weaknesses. But here that threat and that weaknesses is getting minimized because you are providing opportunity to each and every group members, either the experimental group or the control group, to teach them by using both the methods. Okay, maybe new methods or maybe the conventional method through by MOOCs or by the conventional method, traditional method. So that's why the errors or the threat that we have already experienced in the earlier method of quasi experimental design, here it is to some extent minimized. Okay, so in suggestion we can say that rotation of groups eliminates group difference and error. So when you are rotating the groups, you will find that the group differences are getting reduced. So friends, in this way, by practicing the rotation treatment, we can also conduct our study, conduct our experimental research. So friends, today we discuss the quasi experimental design for conducting experimental research. We practice it in educational research. We discuss two design here. One is the non-randomized control group pretest post-test design, and the second design, that is the counterbalanced design. In our next session, we'll discuss about the survey method. Okay, under survey method, what are the different specific research design or survey method is there, that we will discuss in our further program. Thank you.